Good morning, everybody. Michelle called me Gregory. I thought my mom was around the corner there sometimes. You know, someone's known me since I was 9 years old when they refer to me as Gregory, but thank you for that. We'd like to begin today, making sure where we're going. We'd like to begin today with our vision, and thank you, Angel, for talking about that, because no matter what challenges we face in the past or what challenges lie before us, we always want to begin with our vision, and that's we are called, we have a moral obligation to empower each child to design the future. So today, I wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of the district. Lexington School District 1, because of our history of success and our past performance, attract families to this community. Many of you maybe moved here specifically for the schools or the opportunity for your children to go to school. But since 1988, we've averaged about 504 students per year in growth. That's essentially a small elementary school a year is what we deal with. And that growth certainly can be a challenge, but it also provides lots of opportunities. And in 2018, we had a facility study, and that facility study led to the 2018 bond referendum. And so what I'd like to do today is show you a little bit about what your $365 million is paying for. So our bond program is 2 years old as of last week at Election Day. In those 2 years, we have already opened one school, Centerville Elementary School. We are opening a new school next month, Pillion Middle School, and we are in the process of building a third school. Now, last year, I don't know if you remember, but there was some controversy about other bond projects, not ours, other bond projects in our region that hadn't really got off the ground and hadn't really started, even though they were a year into the bond referendum. How were we able to go so quickly? Well, we were able to go so quickly primarily because we have some of the best people in the business. I believe Jeff Salters is around here someplace who's in charge of our operations. So we have absolutely some of the best people in the business, but we also use prototype designs. So Centerville Elementary School is a prototype of Rocky Creek Elementary School, Meadow Glen Elementary School, as well as Deerfield Elementary School. Pillion Middle School and the new Lexington Middle School are prototype designs of the Beechwood Middle School that we just opened in 2019. So by being able to use these prototype designs, we were able to get things off the ground, get our construction going, and we've made tremendous progress in a very short period of time. The school that you see behind me here is Centerville Elementary School. In Gilbert, we had a K-2 school in Gilbert Primary and a 3 through 5 Gilbert Elementary. And what we did was we moved, because of the future growth associated in the Gilbert community, we moved Centerville Elementary School to the northern part of the attendance zone and rebranded Gilbert Primary School as Gilbert Elementary School. And we feel like by doing that, we've now established growth and opportunity in the Gilbert community, which is one of our higher growth areas. We are also opening Pillion Middle School next month. We are extremely excited about this school because the older campus in Pillion, we had buildings dating back to the 1950s. So those buildings, thankfully, they were built to last back in the day, but it was time to move on, and we have a new state-of-the-art facility that we're opening up next month. Very excited about some of the new opportunities that will be taking place. We'll have a dance program there, and in Pillion High School, they have an agribusiness center. And so we are mirroring that agribusiness center at the high school, at the middle school, with a real state-of-the-art agricultural program there as well. So that's really deeply rooted, no pun intended, in their community. And so we're excited to be able to create a 6 through 12 experience for that. Lexington Middle School, or the replacement for Lexington Middle School, look how much progress has already been made there. You notice that the buildings are coming out of the ground. We're starting to put on second floors and all kinds of stuff. So we're making great progress there, and that is coming along. Lexington Middle School, just like Gilbert Elementary and just like Pillion Middle, we're some of our oldest campuses in our district. And so by moving it to its new location on Old Cherokee Road, we do a couple things. Number one, we are replacing one of our oldest campuses. Number two, we're also creating some physical distance between the school and the road. You recall where Lexington Middle sits. That's not a great location. And we're also pulling Lexington Middle School away from one of the busiest intersections in Lexington and moving it to a road that's much less busy. And we're improving Old Cherokee Road. So that's part of the project. So that's what is a real win-win for the community, because the community gets to take advantage of all those road improvements, all year long, and we don't use it that often. We use it a couple times a day, 180 days a year, and the community gets it 365 days a year. So that's a real win-win for both of us, but we will be improving Old Cherokee Road, different portions of intersections and widening it and all this kind of stuff before we open the replacement Lexington Middle School. Also in the works, we have things going on at nearly every campus in our school district. What you see behind me is the White Knoll High School classroom addition, as well as the White Knoll High School Performing Arts Center. As you know, the performing arts, the fine arts in Lexington 1 are alive and well. They thrive in all of our communities, and we're excited for the Performing Arts Center to open at White Knoll High School, and we'll be building a Performing Arts Center also in Gilbert. Those buildings fill up all the time. Dance competitions, pageants, orchestras, community bands. The arts are really what make Lexington 1 such a wonderful place, and we're going to have state-of-the-art performing arts centers across our school district to help facilitate that work as well. But you'll notice the website here, we have a website that details our building plan, every single project in our building plan. We want to make sure we're open and transparent with our community and let you know what we're doing, how we're doing it, what's the progress of what we're doing. You can check on the progress of every single project in that $365 million bond referendum with a click of a button. We encourage you to do so, and we include pictures. So it's great. So, we believe a picture's worth 1,000 words, and we want to show you our progress and to show you what we're doing each step of the way. Now, I also have some good news for local business owners. As you know, in South Carolina, small businesses especially, but businesses bear really what we believe is an unfair burden about how to fund education in South Carolina. And so anytime we can save you money, we try to do so. As part of that bond referendum, voters agreed to a $14 to $15 million increase to pay for the $365 million bond referendum. 14 to 15 million increase. If you'll notice on your table, I've provided a one-sheet handout that really details this in greater detail, where because of our great credit rating, which we have a history, that's not just Greg Little, let me be honest here, that's not just Greg Little, this is a history of financial and fiscal responsibility, and I know that makes you happy as business leaders, that you know your school district is being financially and fiscally responsible. Because of our great credit rating, as well as a really favorable bond market. We did great over the last 2 bond sales that we've done. And because of those bond sales, we are no longer going to have to raise millage beyond what we've already done. So we're already at the ceiling. That ended up being 4 mills for our business community. 4 mills. So you agreed to a 14 to 15 mil increase, and we only had to increase it by 4 mills. So what I want to do today is take a moment and thank you for believing in us and saying it's worth the 14 to 15 mil increase. Because you didn't know that 2 years ago. All you knew is that the school district needed your support and you were there for us, and we greatly appreciate that. In return, we're able to return to you that we're only going to go up 4 mills, and we are at the ceiling right now. So we're very excited about what this means for our school district and what it means for our business community while creating the state-of-the-art facilities that help make Lexington 1, Lexington 1. But I'm not here today just to talk about financial responsibility. I also want to highlight a couple of our academic achievements as well. Dual enrollment are opportunities that we provide high school students to take college courses while in high school, and they are able to take those courses free of charge. When I was interviewing for this position back in late 2015, early 2016, the report that I had that we had about 50 kids in Lexington 1 engaged in a dual enrollment program. 50. If you'll note today in 2020, 2021, we have 593 students engaged in dual enrollment programs. Last year, we saved families an estimated $2.3 million in tuition savings because of the dual enrollment courses that they took. My daughter last year took 12 hours of dual enrollment. As we're now applying for colleges, one of our first questions is, do you take dual enrollment? Thankfully, the schools that she does allows that. That's essentially about a $10,000 scholarship that she's received because we took dual enrollment in high school free of charge. Our communities are thirsting for this opportunity. It is growing rapidly. And not only do we have more and more students taking dual enrollment, let's look at the types of students that are also increasing in dual enrollment. Over the last 3 years, we've changed the number of students of poverty taking these courses by almost 100%. Students of color and our minority students have increased enrollment in these courses by 62%. Overall, the number of students taking an academically rigorous course, that means an advanced placement course, an international baccalaureate course, or a dual enrollment course, has increased by 31%. We have more students right now in our history taking advanced courses in Lexington School District 1, and that's one of the things that I'm most excited about. We're able to do this because we have an incredible partnership with USC Sumter. Every step of the way, they've been a wonderful partner with us, and we have walked side by side with them to increase dual enrollment. The future for dual enrollment is this, though. This is the exciting part. I believe we have only scratched the surface of where we're going. We've been having great conversations with Midlands Tech, and we're confident that our relationship with Midlands Tech is going to grow and evolve and offer even more dual enrollment opportunities. I hope to come back to you 3 years from now, and I'm going to show you we've got 1,000 students taking dual enrollment. I hope we have 1,500 students taking dual enrollment. I hope it's 2,000 students taking dual enrollment. That number cannot be high enough for me. The more opportunities that we have students to take college-level classes in high school saves the family, and it creates an opportunity for those students to take college courses while in the comfortable confines of their high school. It proves to them that they can do it. Listen, for some of our students, going to college is the same thing as going to Mars. They can't even envision what that would even be. Taking dual enrollment then is the bridge that will help make that happen. And this is one of the fastest ways I believe that we can break the poverty cycle and create opportunities, especially for our lower income students. But it's not just for lower income students, it's really for all of our students. You heard Angel talk about the College Center. We did do the College Center today. Our College Center at Gilbert High School attracts first-generation college students. We're looking for high potential students who have not really demonstrated that potential yet in the classroom. You know those kind of kids. You know they got a lot to them, but they just haven't quite figured out some of the GPA stuff yet. We want to wrap our arms around them, put them in a research-based system of support, and allow them to take advanced coursework across the board. And then when they graduate, they will graduate with between 1 year and 2 years of college credit already underneath their belt. Now, I'm a runner, sort of. I mean, I run. I don't know if you call me a runner, but I do. I participate in the activity of running. But if we're running a race, and let's say we're running a 5K, a 3.1 mile race, and you give me a mile head start, I'm more likely to finish that race. That's what dual enrollment is doing for kids. We're giving them a head start. So they start the race a mile down the road. They're more likely to finish, they're more likely to graduate. And it's not just going to college. Our goal is that they graduate from college. And these are systems that allow them to do that. And I've got to tell you, being able to open this program, I so much appreciate your talking about how you responded during the pandemic. Being able to open this program while dealing with the pandemic is probably one of our greatest achievements, no doubt about it. But we are sitting here with a room full of local business and industry. So let's talk about how we're helping to feed your business and industry and creating a pipeline for success in Lexington. One of the things that I think makes Lexington 1 so special is our opportunities that we provide students to explore their passions and explore what they're interested in. One of the ways we do that is through our career technical education courses. And we put our money where our mouth is when it comes to CTE. Notice the investment. Now, most of the time, I don't put other school districts up here, okay? I just want to tell you. I'm doing that today as just to show you what our investment is in career technical education courses and how that investment compares across the board. Notice, in terms of student enrollment, CTE completers, and students earning credentials, we lead the Midlands in all of that. CTE completers are especially important because that's a group of students who have had to take a sequence of courses, 3 to 4 courses in a row within that same pathway. Again, I use my daughter as an example here. Kaylee's going to be a health science completer. She's taken the 3 health science pathway courses to become a CTE completer. She'll graduate with that this year. But also note that 6.4% of high school students across South Carolina complete a CTE program. In Lexington, that's nearly 20%. In 2019, 45% of our high school seniors participated in a work-based learning experience. The next biggest Midlands district was 11.8%. We believe it is essential when we talk about college and career ready, that is, we're not talking about college or career ready, that these two things are aligned. More and more of our students, I'll tell you, my daughter again has taken dual enrollment, AP and CTE completer. We had a young lady last year that got accepted into Harvard. She also CTE completer and advanced placement. We want students to take all of these kinds of courses and create the flexibility in our schedule to make it happen. When I was growing up, it was either the college pathway or the career pathway. Now what we're realizing is, and what we've realized in Lexington 1, it's an and. We need both of those things to help create the type of educational experience we want our students to have. Now, I guess there's never a presentation we can have today without talking about our response to COVID, and I want to walk you through some of the things that we've been working on over the last few months. On March the 3rd, let's go back for just a little bit. On March the 3rd, we presented a plan to our school board where we needed 5 months of professional development so we could do 5 e-learning days in the 2020-2021 school year. And I'll repeat that for those of you who didn't get that, because somebody over here laughed, and I appreciate that. 5 months of professional development for 5 days of e-learning in the 2020-2021 school year. That's on March 3rd. On March 11th, we leave for a 4-day weekend that we built into the calendar. We had a weather makeup day and a teacher work day that we ended up not using the weather makeup day, so we had a 4-day week. And I'm thinking to myself, I am the smartest superintendent that has ever lived. Look at this 4-day week we get right here. It can be a great break for everybody. I went back home. We went to Mount Airy. We saw some friends. We, drive around where Andy Griffith lived, that kind of stuff. So we're back in Mount Airy. We're having fun. And then I get the call. Says, Dr. Little, they're probably going to cancel school. I said, what do you mean they're going to cancel school? On March the 15th, the governor canceled school for the next 2 weeks. We never come back on our campus for the remainder of the year. Now, nobody saw that coming. We essentially had 3 days, 5 months to 3 days, to retool everything that we were doing, and we spent then the next 9 weeks in a virtual learning environment. Now, there was a lot of work that had to be done, but I'm so proud of with the time and resources that we had available in that moment to make that happen in basically 72 hours. It was tough, it was a challenge, but we made it happen. Then what we've been working on, well, let me give you 2 other things. Not only did we have to flip and make all that happen, but March is also budget season. We're the 2nd largest employer in our community, almost 4,000 employees. Everything that we had to do in HR changed overnight and had to be virtual. How we interviewed, how we recruited, how we onboarded, how we signed contracts, you name it, we had to rethink it on the fly. The other thing, and probably one of the things that I'm most proud of about our response, is our food services and our child nutrition our food services and our transportation offices came together, and over the course of the quarantine, they served over 800,000 meals to our families. And we had people from all over volunteering. And the moment that I want to share with you, on the first day that I volunteered, we're out in Pillion, and this group of 5 kids from the same family came to pick up the meal, and they have kids from about 5th grade all the way down to a toddler. They'd walked 1.5 miles to get there. That's the power when you realize that schools are more than pen and paper. Schools represent the heart of the community, and in that moment we were serving our community, caring for our community in ways that we never thought we would ever have to do before March. but just a great moment for us. Our plan for the fall has really landed on these 4 pillars: purposeful, strategic, intentional, and that we were going to prioritize health and safety every step of the way. Our goal has been to take a deliberate step and then see where we are. Take another deliberate step and do a safety check. I look at it this way. When you're learning how to swim, you don't immediately go jump in the deep end of the pool. When you're learning how to ride a bike, you don't start at the tallest hill in the neighborhood. You work your way up to those things. And that is what we're doing as a school board. We're taking a deliberate step and doing a safety check. Taking a deliberate step and doing a safety check. And I believe that's one of the reasons our plan has been so successful. Remember, our goal is not to be open. Our goal is to stay open. And those are 2 different goals. And that's why we've been taking our time and being deliberate each step of the way. So the plan, really we offer parents 2 choices, with 100% virtual or a face-to-face option. We had about 7,500 students choose the virtual option. That's about 27-point-something% of our population. And then we did a hybrid model, which means we had an A cohort and a B cohort. So we had A cohort came to school Monday and Tuesday, B cohort came to school Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday was a virtual day. On that virtual day, we really tried to connect closely with students, but the big thing too was about cleaning the buildings, doing all the nursing contact tracing stuff, and having the time to be able to do that. I think I'm on the right thing, yeah. We've really leaned into our safety protocols. We believe that Lexington School District 1 is really one of the safest places you can be because we practice these safety protocols every single day. And we have been working on them while in the hybrid model, and we've been reinforcing them at each step of the way. And so we really believe that it's an incredibly safe place to be, but we add layers. Our goal is to add layers of safety and security for our students as we approach these situations. And so far, it has really been very successful for us up to this point. So here's where we stand today. On August 31st, we had our first day of school. We pushed back the start date of school for 2 weeks so we had more time to implement and practice and get all this stuff together. We started on August 31st. On October the 5th, we brought back our pre-K through 2 students, as well as all students grades K through 12 or 3 through 12 who were special education self-contained. And we brought back some students who had some English language needs. That was on August the 5th. 2 weeks later, we brought back our 3 through 5 students, and we brought back some priority groups in the middle school and high school. So kids that might have been struggling in the hybrid model, we wanted to bring them back to. Yesterday, so this is hot off the presses right here. Yesterday, we brought back 6th graders. 6th graders came back yesterday, and next Monday, we're bringing back our 7th and 8th graders. So we'll have K through 8 back by next Monday, so we're very excited about that. Now, people talk about 5 days a week versus, what does that mean? We're not doing 5 days a week. We're doing what's called a 4+1 model. We're doing Monday through Thursday, face-to-face. Friday is staying a virtual day. We're doing that so we don't overwhelm our capacity to clean the buildings. We want to make sure we can continue to contact trace and make sure kids are healthy. And we have students who are quarantined, and we want to give teachers the time to be able to help those students who are quarantined. Because remember, when you're quarantined for 2 weeks. And so it's a long period of time not to be able to come to school. We want to make sure that teachers can reach out to those kids and make sure they're okay. So K through 8, everybody is back in 4 days a week in our 4+1 model next Monday. We will then begin to look at how to approach high school. If I'm being open and transparent with the group, I will tell you it's a tricky time to think about bringing high school students back because we're in the middle of 2 major holidays. So everybody's going to go away for Thanksgiving. Well, how colleges have approached that is the colleges say, we're done after Thanksgiving, everybody's virtual. So it's a strange time to think about how to bring high school students back, but we are looking at it and trying to make sure that we are going to do what we want kids to come back. That is certainly our goal, but we're going to make sure it is safe to do so. So that's also our goal. We're going to prioritize health and safety. We need to make sure that we're prioritizing the health and safety of the adults in the building, as well as the children who are coming to our building, and your families. Because remember, that child is going to come home to your family. And that's going to be absolutely essential. Our theme for the year has been Stronger Together. We believe that we are stronger together. We're stronger together when we collaborate as a school district and as we work with our community. Because it's an approach that all of Lexington is in this thing together. What we are facing is not something that just is going to happen in the schools or is just going to happen in the community. It's happening for all of us working together and collaborating with one another. So today, before I finish, I want to say this. We need your help. If you want us to stay in school, we need your help. We need you modeling, wearing masks. We need you washing your hands. We need you staying socially distant. We need you talking to your children about this, your nieces, your nephews, your grandchildren. We need all of that to happen if you want us to stay in school. Because the greater the community spread we have, the harder it will be for us to stay in school. And so we have Thanksgiving coming up. I'm asking you today to take additional precautions when you're thinking about how you're bringing your family together. If you have mother-in-law issues, for example, like I do, today, this is your holiday. You've ever wanted to make an excuse? You've got an excuse built in. I'm just saying. That may be too much information. That may be too much information on my end, but I'm telling you, if you've ever wanted to say to your mother-in-law, I don't think we can make it this year. Guess what? Today, this is your year. But in all seriousness, we need your help. We need your help when it comes to the holidays. We need your help on a day-to-day basis because it's going to take all of us because we are truly, truly stronger together than we are alone. Thank you very much for allowing me to come speak with you today, and I certainly can take any questions you might have. Thank you for saying that. So, real quick, the Gilbert Elementary School site and the Pillion Middle School site, they're going to become early childhood centers. We believe that investing in early childhood is get a head start up front, invest in the money when they're young. They're going to get further, faster later on. The middle school site, the current site, we're going to be working with the Palmetto College. We're hoping to have some conversations with Midlands Tech. We are going to create some professional training opportunities. We really have no place in our school district for people to come together in fairly large numbers to train. We'll have some office space over there as well. So that is still in the planning phase about exactly how we're going to do that and what we're going to do there. But we're confident we will be serving students in our community there as well. As you know, in a growing community like we are, we need all the space we can get. So we're not getting rid of any space, and that I can assure you.